What's up, Phase Zero family? Aaron Perine here to talk about Miss Marvel's power set. The show's coming to Disney Plus next week, and we'll get you all caught up with some of her origins in the comics and what to expect in the show. So let's dive in. Fans haven't seen Kamala Khan in the MCU before, but they have gotten a trailer that delivered a short primer on Iman Vellani's next young hero to enter the picture. For starters, in the comics, Miss Marvel idolizes Carol Danvers, and she's really a giant Avengers nerd. It's understandable, right? She behaves like a lot of us would inside the world of the MCU. She's just the latest young person to have her life changed by all the globe and universe traveling adventures of these heroes. Kamala Khan actually first appears in Captain Marvel number 14 in 2012. She's over there in the background getting saved by Captain Marvel, and that leads to her introduction in Miss Marvel number 1 in 2014 by G. Willow Wilson and artist Adrian Alphona. Like some of the best Marvel heroes, Kamala's struggles come from trying to balance superpowers with her other life. She clashes with her mother and father over honoring their Muslim values, but she always has love for them and tries her best to straddle the two different worlds of her social life and superheroics. Her parents try to forbid her from attending a high school party, but Kamala sneaks out. From there, you can probably guess what happens. A chemical cloud known as the Terrigen Mist is unleashed upon the city. In that blue gas, numerous people were affected. Their Inhuman genes activated by the mist and wrapped in cocoons to become something else entirely. In one horrifying bit of her origin, she makes herself look just like Captain Marvel on accident and freaks out because, wouldn't you be more than a little bit panicked? This is the main crux of her comics power set, what we like to call embiggening. She can stretch and shrink and a whole lot more. At the atomic level, she can warp her molecules to achieve different ends. If you're wondering where the stretchy fists come from, well, there you have it. The question then becomes, what's with the glowing constructs and those fancy bracelets in the trailer for Disney Plus? In a recent interview with Empire magazine, Marvel Studios head honcho Kevin Feige gave us the most concrete hint yet. We adapt the comics, it's not an exact translation. Kamala came about in a very specific time within the comic book continuity. She is now coming into a very specific time within the MCU continuity, and those two things didn't match. What we will learn about where those powers come from and how they come about is specific to the MCU. You will see great comic splash panels in some of our action sequences. If you want big giant hands and arms, well, they're here in spirit, if not in stretchy plastic type ways. In these comments, Feige is laying out the possible route for Kamala in the MCU. Namely, she's going to be even more closely linked with Captain Marvel than in the comics. That winning personality and her struggles with identity will still be intact. However, that haunting sequence with her looking like Captain Marvel probably isn't going to make the cut. If you're looking for more clues about what these changes could come from, the trailer does hold some answers. During that clip, we see Kamala Khan snooping around in an attic and come across a couple of old-looking bangles. My friends, I think we're looking at one of two Marvel cosmic relics. Either they're the quantum bands or the nega bands. The quantum bands allow a protector of the universe to manipulate energy at will. These bands were bestowed to Captain Marvel, really Marvel, not Carol Danvers like in the MCU, by the cosmic entity Eon. That being had watched over Earth for the entire history of the universe and saw potential in humans. Decision makers at Marvel slyly perceived that this would make her powers closer to Captain Marvel. It explains her energy manipulation moveset instead of the embiggening powers right off the bat. On the Negaband side of things, they marry the power to the negative zone. In the comics, Rick Jones gets drawn to the gold alien bracelets, then when he knocks them together, his atoms trade places with Captain Marvel. Basically, it combined the two together. Remember, in the trailer, Miss Marvel has some event where she collides with some after image of herself. They do all the stuff you would expect. Energy projection, strength, interstellar flight, teleporting, and being able to survive in the vacuum of space. So, hello the Marvels, there you go. One other comic to keep in mind during all of this is the currently releasing Miss Marvel Beyond the Limit by Samir Ahmed and Andres Ginolin. In this comic series, we see that Kamala's powers come into contact with the Tesseract, or actually a Polchinski box, which actually shows the young hero that she gets her powers from a shared pool of herself in the multiverse. So yeah, that's Miss Marvel. Those are her powers in the comics. That's what's going on with the Disney Plus series. You can watch Miss Marvel June 8th on Disney Plus. I'm Aaron Perine here for Phase Zero. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Listen to us on anywhere you get your podcasts, and we'll catch you guys later. Bye.